what elite starts. And if you look at the gut all overall health, there are two things what we're talking about. One is absorption, the other one is assimilation, like you get that inside, and then the third one is more of the excretion part of it. And if you're missing any of these components, then it is not going to work. Essentially, when together, it perfectly blends into it, and it gives you complete gut health formula. Absorption and the digestion is the job of your upper bowel. That is where it is done mainly. The true ingredients are always absorbed from the stomach and the first part of the intestine. And the second part of the intestine is the one which actually, or the bowel, is the one that decides that it should go out. It is a special formula which is designed to treat and pamper your colon. It is there to pamper your colon, and it is actually going to give a slight thing of activity to the colon, which is a little lazy, so that the moment happens, it has also got ingredients that are antioxidant, it has ingredients that are anti-inflammatory, and thus it prevents the leaky gut, and it's also important for cleansing the bowel. The more cleansed the bowel is, the less chances of leaky gut, the less chances of toxin absorption from the gut into your bloodstream and your body. And when this whole thing starts happening right, then you will start seeing those impact in your body significantly from the inside out, from the skin, from the hair, and then you start losing those pounds as well. And a lot of that pound has actually just been sitting there in the colon for the longest time that you are aware of. I do have to say one thing about this whole thing, and yesterday I was talking to a group of friends in here. As we start getting to the age of 40, our system, the hepato, the liver, and the gallbladder system, that starts getting sluggish. And that is the reason why, if you are 40, if you are fertile, if you are a female, means you have more estrogen, or you are on birth control pills, there are more chances of your gallbladder to be kind of sluggish. And then when it gets sluggish, then you start getting less bile juice is being released in response to the fat that you eat, and it's not digested properly, and that's when you start depositing it into the system. So, especially in women, when you start using it particular age, after a particular age, you will start seeing more impact on them. If they are particularly in this category, they are 40, or they have estrogen in their body, and that's how it starts seeing these, a little bit movement will be a little bit more compared to the men. And that's why you will see much more results in women as compared to men, if you really look at that instantly. But along the time frame it goes by, they all actually have the similar effect. But the key is, again, to protect the mucosal barrier of the gut, to make sure that the toxins do not enter into your bloodstream. It's not a laxative, because that's the question I've been getting from everybody, and then we'll go back into that same thing again in the next slides. And let's just go on the ingredients that actually starts accumulating in our body. These are all these harmful substances that we see that significantly enter from the gut, what we eat from outside. One way or the other, they are going to land up into your gut, and your gut has to work really hard to get them out of the system. If this all stuff stays in your gut for longer, the longer time of contact, the more toxins are being absorbed into your system, and then the more toxic you get in terms of these absorption from the leaky gut syndrome itself. So it's very, very important to actually avoid those scenarios, not to dump everything into your system, because remember, you are what you eat. It does not mean that you eat chicken and you become chicken. Okay? You are what you eat means whatever you put into your system becomes the part of your system. And there have been enough studies shown that if you eat a particular kind of rice, the DNA material or the RNA of the rice will start showing up in the RNA of the humans, because that protein is the building block of your protein. So whatever you eat is going to be shown up into your system. Regardless, if it is good, it's going to be good. It's bad, it's going to be bad. That's why you are what you eat. If you eat a lot of red meat, then your body will be having a particular type of nitrogenous base of that meat that you eat. If you are bull eater, then you will have those bull DNA into your system. So very, very important to remember that part, not to assimilate or eat anything that you think is going to be toxic and you don't want into your system. You just kind of like keep that under control. That's very important. Anything that gets into your body is going to actually be absorbed and become the part of your DNA. And as long as you remember that, you're going to be staying healthy and you're going to be more proactive towards the health. And when you start talking about the cleansing, and when I say detox, see, what is gone into your system is already gone. You can't do much about it. Your body is going to cleanse it anyways by its own means. But if your gut is busy in dealing with all the caca that you have in your bowel, then it is going to not have enough time to actually do the cleansing. And that's where the liver gets overloaded. In this scenario, detox means prevention of the toxins from your bowel to enter into your bloodstream. That is more important than getting out the stuff from the body. And that's why everyone reacts differently to the formulation the way it is. And if we look at that, all the factors of stress, the causes of aging, it just ends up to these couple points. What you eat is the most important. Dehydration, impaired cellular renewal, the pollution from outside, and the pollution from inside. What we put inside the body is the pollution from inside, and what we see from outside, like sunlight, the bright light, smoke, smog, anything that is outside, emotional pollution, noise pollution, it's all from the outside. But whatever goes inside your gut creates the inside pollution, and then you have to be careful with that part. Once it starts happening, then you will have reduction of the elastin, toxin accumulation, free radical damage into your lungs and the gut as well, and that so on and so on. So these are the important points that if you remember, you will be very, very comfortable to understand the whole part of it. Now, like I said, elite, iaso. Repeat with me, elite, iaso. Elite, iaso. What elite starts, iaso finishes. What elite starts, iaso finishes. Elite is all about absorbing, giving you the adaptogens, giving you the good stuff that should get into your system. Iaso is about making sure what is not in your system, it should not be there. What is not needed, it should not be there. The integrity of the gut membrane has to be maintained. That is the most important part. So they make perfect partners when they are working together. They both have aloe vera. Aloe vera is a good astringent, and it makes a nice protective layer, and it is also antibacterial in that sense that it will kill the bad bacteria as well. So overall anti-inflammatory and astringent, and is also improving the bowel movement as well by itself. Okay? And then it will, while it is being assimilating or is going out of the gut, it will absorb the toxins that are inside your gut. Remember, we are talking about the toxins in the gut, not in the body. That is the most important part most people don't understand. Okay? So very significant. It regulates your elimination cycles, and it has the amino acids that your body requires. It has the amino acids that your muscles require. It has the amino acids that your mucosal membrane requires. And when you look at the other ingredients, this is Cassia augustifolia extract, which is coming from the flowers or the leaves of a senna, and it relieves the constipation. Now, a lot of questions actually come about it as well. This is a very small amount of it into the product. Very small amount, is just significant enough to actually cause a bowel movement, to initiate the bowel movement. It is not an irritant or cathartic. It only initiates on the initial part of the touch to the mucosal membrane, and that's when it whole process starts initially. But then apart from that, it is also an anti-inflammatory, and that is why it actually protects your gut from going into the leaky gut syndrome and avoids the toxins to get inside your system. That's why it is very important. The other one would be Caprica papaya extract. Now when you talk about the papaya extract, what is it that is important for your gut? The whole gut formation has got main function is absorption, digestion, assimilation, and excretion. Excretion is being held by augustifolia, but the digestion is a very important part as well. And for the digestion component, that's where papaya extract comes into the play to help you digest the food, digest whatever you are taking along all day long, and make sure that you are only absorbing the healthy, digestible food into your system. It greatly aids into the enhanced absorption or increases the bioavailability of the good stuff that you actually put into your body, and it is anti-inflammatory in nature. The next one would be chamomile. It kind of like I get lost in that all the time. Chamomile, I guess. And it is an astringent, anti-inflammatory, analgesic, takes away the cramps, makes the mucosal membrane relaxed. That is what it does. It is good for the irritable bowel syndrome. You don't want to have over-exaggerated bowels. So when the moments start to make it relaxed after your bowel evacuation is done, this effect actually continues. It's very good for the stomach pain, it's very good for the bowel pain for any kind, and then it actually helps you to get rid of the IBS as well. So essentially what it is doing is, it is making your gut work better. When your gut is working better, your overall health is better. Like I said, your gut is your second brain, and everything that enters into your body is entering through the gut only. So as long as you are making sure that the tube is clean, it has got astringents, it has got good bacterial load, and the bad bacteria are taken out, there is no leaky gut syndrome. You're talking about good skin, good hair, good nail, overall good sleep, good hormones, and overall anti-aging together with some weight loss and so on and so on. Unnecessary toxins will not be accumulated in your system, and then once the entire metabolism starts and gearing it up, you'll start seeing the impact on your hepatobiliary system, which is your liver and the gallbladder as well. And then it has to have the fiber. Anything that is going to make the movement in the bowel. Now the fiber is in a very little amount into this, and it's a completely soluble form of dextrin, and this what it does is it mixes up with the content of the gut and tries to make a smooth paste of it so that you have a smooth bowel movement without causing any aberrations or damage to your bowel membrane or to the mucosa of the bowel. So it just helps to actually get the caca out much more easily without rubbing your colon. Okay, you guys are too much immersed into this science. I mean, this happens when you're too much deep into this whole toxicity and digestive. So let's talk about the final thing. What we have is, when you are having a complete formulation, what Elite started, iaso finished. Very, very simple. It will actually make you feel good from the morning till the evening. It's going to make you feel better overall, and then it will actually start aiding into your better digestive health, better skin care, and essentially when you have a good, healthy, you have a happy gut, you have a healthy gut. That's how you actually look at this whole scenario, and you have to make sure that things that you are not a dumping dustbin. Like my mom, whenever we eat and whatever is left, in the end, rather than throwing it into the trash can or just keeping it back in the fridge, she'll say, I'll finish it or it's gonna go bad. And then it took us time to actually kind of explain it to her that the body is not a trash bin or a trash can. You do not put into your body what you don't want to be the part of your body. Because anything that goes inside, it stays inside. It's like the parasite. You get into a relationship with that. And in life, relationships can change. You can get out, you can sign a paper, but what gets into your body, it stays there. Remember that. So it's going to be there for long. So don't add things that you want to get rid of in future. Just be a little bit more proactive. Choose your products very carefully and wisely. Do not add anything that is not necessary for your body, or hormone-laden food, or pesticide-laden food, and so on, because it's all going to be a part of your system. And these are just very basic preventive steps. Essentially, go for the healthy food. Healthy omega-3, omega-6, and so on, olive oil, nuts, seeds, and things like that. They have got flavonoids, alkaline-rich food. More colorful the food is, what looks good to eat is going to taste good and is going to make you feel good. That's the most important thing. So you kind of like make, pamper, and see. I love the fact when people take a picture of the meal and then they post it on the Instagram or whatever. If they like it, they enjoy it, and it's healthy. The more colors you have in the food, the better it is for you. Drink a lot of water, because the fiber that you are getting, the tea you are getting, astaxanthin you are getting, aloe you are getting, all of that stuff requires more water to flush that out and make a smooth movement. So if you're not drinking enough water, it's going to take its own time and it's going to be slowing down the whole process. So you really need to improve the movement by causing hydration of your body, because dehydration is one cause of aging. And then maintain your progress chart, stick with it, talk to your friends and share with it. Remember, peer discussion is one of the most important things. The moment somebody comes and tells me, I'm doing this and I'm feeling great, you are doing a real service to the humanity by telling somebody that, you know what, I'm doing great. Don't be selfish. Oh my God, I feel great, I lost 2 pounds or 3 pounds. I shouldn't tell my neighbor. That's wrong. Tell them what you're doing, because that's how you actually help yourself and you help them. Because next day they will lose 3 pounds and then you will come and say, oh, I lost already 3 more. So keep the battle on. That's very important, okay? Essentially, if you really look at that, iaso and elite, they actually make a very good pair together, and they complement each other, and they make your gut health perfect from top to the bottom. Okay, remember, there are only very few points in the body where the toxins can enter. Can you enter me 2 holes? Can you tell me 2 holes where the toxins get inside the body? The nose and the mouth. Don't go any further. So, to conclude this whole thing is, the iaso and elite are good for the internal core of your health. Okay? Look at this. And then outside is all skincerity, renew, barrier, moisturizer, all of that good stuff. But my job is to just tell you about these 2. Just don't forget these 2. Okay? Remember. Thank you so much, guys.